it's not a bad thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely understand what you mean. I feel that. Yeah.
I feel like in other things, but in music, I feel like it's a close friends who like pushed me to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed that that's when others who weren't as close to me, I noticed that they were rocking with it too.
Mm-hmm.
I went to I don't know if I'll name drop this lady. She do you remember Jaleel Ford?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so his mom, Duty, she does a lot for the community. She asked me to perform at an event that she was hosting.
Okay, I remember.
Around Christmas time. So I performed, doing my thing, and I got mistaken for someone who had performed at Guilford's talent show. I'm like, man, or like guest starred at it. I said, man, I'm flattered, but that wasn't me.
Yeah.
But basically, I had about 10 people come up to me and, say that my piece was great and to continue writing. Because I'm not going to lie, that's another thing I'm working on. Also with YouTube is consistency and realizing that it's good for me to write, or that there are people who are listening that rock with my stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, because like you want to do it for others, but you also kind of want to do it for yourself.
I wish I had some money to give, bro.
Yeah,
I like people who make a living, or just like who makes honest livings,
Yeah, he has his own lawn care thing. I don't remember it, but I remember him telling me that.
I'm trying to get me and Samaj and Tyrone, and maybe you can jump on too if you feel comfortable. But you know how on social media, like say Jeff Bezos, he billionaire, like billions, bro. And like say he donates like only 100,000 to like the quarantine cause or whatever it may be. You know how people will try to like
get on that saying, he's a billionaire, why wouldn't you give more?
Exactly. But I'm like, bro, he gave $100,000. That's a lot of money. Okay, he has billions. How much did you give? You make 30,000, 35,000. How much did you give this month? How much did you give this year? Nothing. So I feel like you can't really say nothing about nobody's giving if you're not giving yourself. So I'm challenging myself, Samaj, and Tyrone to do a donation every 2 weeks to whatever cause we feel necessary for that, those 2 weeks. And it doesn't have to be nothing extravagant, bro, because we just got out of college,
right?
Got those loans and stuff. But what's $10 every 2 weeks for all of us? So that's $30 for every 2 weeks that we can give to, and not like send it out, but actually do something good with it. Like go to the Salvation Army, get some clothes, and take them to a homeless shelter or something like that. $30. Go buy canned goods and take it to a soup kitchen or something like that. Every 2 weeks, that's nothing. And since we're all in different cities right now, obviously like I can do the first one, or Samaj, he can do the second one, and then Tyrone can do the third one. And every 2 weeks we'll just send it to a different person in our group, and they'll carry out our wishes for that week.
Right.
That's $5 a week. That's nothing.
That sounds like a great idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah, no matter what position you're in, you're always able to give. There's always just people less fortunate than us. And I got to try to remember that. Like you said, I want to be in a better position. Definitely. But you're not doing bad. Like there's hella people who are doing worse.
It's just,
especially being in Rockford, you definitely know.
It's just that
we could be in a different position.
I'm so forward thinking.
Definitely.
And I'm not going to be truly satisfied until I move up to social class. Because I've been stuck at least my folks have been stuck in the same social class for a long time, and I'm trying to break that with the end goal of having financial freedom.
Exactly.
And passing that down to, my seeds if I have them.
Financial, we was talking about something a few days ago. Financial intelligence too.
Yep. But I think another thing is kind of piggybacking off what you said. people like to they like to always put their 2 cents in. Like they always and I try to avoid these statements, but they'll be like, oh, if I had that amount of money, here's what I would do. That's why they always say, like, if you got a friend, like, say I were to get paid like $2 million, like right now, I guarantee you I would have, I wouldn't say friends, but definitely a handful of people in my ear talking about some, oh man, here's what I do with that $1 million. I'll do this, I'm doing that, no. It's like they're trying to speak for you. And that's not a bad thing, because they don't, you know, they don't mean harm really. But in a sense, they kind of are. That's like, to me, that's like their, I won't say insecurity, but that's like just a wee bit of envy or jealousy that's inside them speaking out for them.
Yep. Oh, well, why you buy your mom a new house? Like, that's the first thing you did with your money. If I had the money, I would, you know, donate this and this. You don't have the money, number one. So you don't know what you would do with it. Because I always say, like, if I was a millionaire, I used to say, like, if I was a millionaire, I would do this and this. I don't know how I would act. I would hope I would remain the same person and actually look to get back. But the first thing, if thinking right now, being honest with myself, the first thing I would probably buy is my mom a new house.
Oh,
buy my Mustang.
Oh, definitely.
And then I would go out and, you know, help others. But definitely, like you said, you know, I would help the family out first.
Because it's like,
kind of be selfish a little bit.
Because it's like with Fred VanVleet. Because like in my head, this is why I say I'm like trying to get better. Yep, much. Because like I'm thinking, Fred's already doing a great job giving back to the community and doing a great job just playing. He's played the longest out of anyone from the Rockford area that's ever made it to the NBA. So he's already a legend for the city already. He cannot play again. He already be good, promise you. But obviously, I think he gonna ride it out.
Oh yeah, he gonna have a long career.
Imagine if he goes to the Lakers. That'd be dope though. But you know,
I like where he is just because I feel like he doesn't have to prove him. Nobody's seen that. He doesn't have to prove himself anymore as far as on the Raptors, just because, you know, he's done his due diligence. Yeah, he's done his due diligence, bro. Him
and Siakam, they grinded. They won the, you know, D-League championship, and then next thing you know, they got more playing time, and they played big roles in them winning the actual championship.
Then they're second in the Eastern Conference. Your best player leaves, and you're still second.
I mean,
that
I would say it is the East, but yeah, it is. But the Raptors are very good.
Yeah,
they are very good.
Because the East has, the Celtics was number one. They still have the 76ers, who got a better record than. Not a trash team at all.
The Bucks.
The Bucks was number one. My fault.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were ahead of the Celtics, stacked team. People talking about they can win the championship. They were ahead of the 76ers. People talking about they can win the championship. And a couple other teams. So it's like the East actually got better once LeBron left. Honestly, because it's like kind of like
but now
grabs.
The West is even more OP. It always has been. Like 1 to 8 could go to anybody. Because like, say they were to bring back the NBA, which I think they're looking into soon. I heard that they're gonna start opening up certain cities, and allowing them to practice. And I feel like right now Memphis is number 8. So if the playoffs were to start today, they'd be facing the Lakers. But you never know. The Pelicans can make a run. They can make that run.
Even then, Pelicans not going.
Obviously, neither team's beating the Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
I'm not even a Laker fan.
But I like watching the Pelicans.
Yeah, that would be nice though.
I'll mess around and get, you know, a Pelicans jersey. I'll rock an Ingram, I'll rock a Zion, I'll rock a Lonzo. It don't matter.
My favorite player on there, who you think?
Josh Hart?
Jrue Holiday. That dude is underrated as hell. He booming on people left hand, right hand. He got handles, and then defense sitting down.
I already knew he was decent coming out, but when he manhandled Dame in that series, I'm like, Yeah, this man, he do that.
He'd do that for real.
Like, when I say he dominated Damian Lillard that series, he dominated him. Had him looking like a scrub. But you know, Dame couldn't let that happen 2 years in a row. Then this man went on a crazy run. And people like, but he lost to the Warriors. But like, Portland wasn't even supposed to make it that far. So for them to make it that far, because they beat the Nuggets.
True.
Nuggets, you know,
Jokic is cold.
deep, you know, they're supposed to be very good. They were talking about they're one of the best teams in the West. But they didn't beat the Blazers, though. Come on. Dealing with injury. They didn't even have Nurkic.
Yeah, they're one of the best offensive teams in the West. They got a lot of offensive weapons. Defensively they're trash. And I like Denver, but they don't got no pride defensively.
I thought they had one of the best like defensive ratings.
Probably this year they probably have one of the best ratings. But a couple of years ago, and even now, like I don't see them sitting down on no team. I don't see them stopping a LAC. They can score with anybody though.
Right.
They got a lot of weapons. But defense,
you could expose matchups. Like Jokic is a very good center, but like when they were going up against the very, very good. No, he's elite. He's elite. He's dang near elite. He's one of the best centers. But
yeah, defensively though.
But like when they were playing the Lakers, he couldn't hold Anthony Davis.
Nope.
And you can see it on his face. He was visibly frustrated. AD got like his second and one on him, and he was just like, because he couldn't hold him.
Yeah, that's all your fault. They ain't know where to help side. Nah, that's you, bro.
He can't hold him. Then again, there's not too many people who can hold Anthony Davis. The only thing about the Lakers is that injuries. That's what really, and obviously the Clippers are their biggest competition. But honestly, I believe in a 7-game series, they could squeeze one out. I believe so. I believe it. I guess we'll have to see it though. So, Mr. Silver, make it happen, Captain.
If you're watching this on the off chance,
very slim chance. But if you
impossible chance.
But if you
I guess maybe he likes Justice League and he accidentally presses Justice League and watches it.
Maybe one of your subscribers will share it, post it on Twitter, you know. Then they might bring it back the next day. But like with Fred, there's like a couple times where I'm like, I wanted to say he should do this, or I would continue giving back, and then I had like an idea pop in my head, but then I stopped myself. I'm like, wait. I can't even do that to Fred because, as I mentioned earlier, he's already doing an incredible amount for the community. So for me, trying to put my 2 cents in on what he should do would be almost disrespectful, you know?
Definitely.
And then I wouldn't even be mad if, like, say Fred were here, you know. Obviously he's not, but Fred were in front of me when I made that statement. If he were to lash out at me, I couldn't say nothing to him because he would technically be right.
Yeah.
Because he could go and say, you don't know what I've been through, so what I do with this money obviously stems from the collection of my life experiences. Which is why, although cliche might be, a lot of people, when they come from, you know, lower upbringings or just basic upbringings, and they want to give back to those who helped them get to the top, they usually want to give back to their parents, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's always how it should be, though.
Oh, definitely, bro. Because, like I said, me and your life, like, if you watching this and you're not from Rockford, like, at my school, people made fun of me from being from Rockford. But, bro, it is terrible here. Like, this is not no suburbs of Chicago or, you know, nice little perky city or whatever. There's a lot of... This biscuit's so dry. There's a lot of pitfalls in Rockford. You know, there's a lot of people who simply don't leave here, and it's not because they don't want to. They just can't. A lot of people who we may have went to school with, either drug dealers or, you know, babies, kids, you know, there's just a lot of different roads that we could have went down. Yeah. And obviously our parents is a huge reason why we didn't go down those roads, you know, like just because of who they were and obviously, you know, what they passed on to us as far as like our mentality and stuff like that. So definitely, I think my parents. Yeah. definitely could have went a whole lot different. Even my mom was like, you know, she thank God. She'd be like, I don't know how you turned out the way you turned out. Like being around what you know, grew up around. She
Right.
like, I'm like, me neither. To God be all the glory, honestly. For real though. For real.
But I feel you though, cause they kind of drilled that, you know, into me too. And even like I had family members who were actually in, and I'm sure I assume that that's where you basically implied as well, that you had family members or even friends that were in the streets or whatever. And like those people, even though they were kind of, not gonna lie, they were kind of hypocrites still doing it while telling me it, I listened because I'm like, okay, I don't want this to happen to me. So I gotta make sure that I do everything so that way I don't have to rely on that, you know? So that's why, you know, when my mom and pops were telling me to get that high school diploma, I said, I'll say I got it. No teenage pregnancies or whatever. No disrespect to teenage moms. You guys are very
It's here. That's a pitfall that we can fall to. There's not much to do in Rockford. Sex and stuff at a young age is not unheard of here or anywhere, but here it's a common thing. Like 23, I tell people here that I'm 23, college educated, no kids. They be looking like me like, wow. Like, and I try not to take offense to it. I take it as a compliment. But at the same time, I'm like, this should just be the norm. Right. You know, this shouldn't be unheard of. You know, like, obviously people have different perspectives and things that they want to do with their own lives. But, you know, finding a 23-year-old black man, got to throw that in there, 23-year-old black man with no kids, college educated, that shouldn't make you go like, wow. That should be like, oh, yeah, that's the norm. Like, it's the norm for me. Like, I don't really find... Yeah,
and on the flip side, people, and on the other side, I noticed, like, for instance, like Tinder. You notice how like some girls on Tinder, like they'll put in their bio, or like even on Facebook, they'll emphasize the fact that they have no kids. It's like you got the end that glorifies them having kids, which I mean you should. You kind of, in a sense, want to put them on that pedestal. But also you want to bring them back down and be like, but like, and then they're also glorifying the fact that they have no kids. It's like you should come in the middle and just do what you got to do. Because like you say, it shouldn't be a norm for either. You should just live your life how you live it. If you choose to have kids, then you choose to have kids, raise them how you want to. And if you don't,
but that's the thing. I know for a fact that a lot of people younger, like our age and younger, don't necessarily plan to have kids. They just do. You know, obviously, okay, sex education, like, lesson, real quick. Don't have sex if you don't understand the consequences. Like, even protected sex, there's always a possibility that you can get someone pregnant. So understand, if I'm engaging in this act, then there's a slim chance, or there's a high chance, if you're having unprotected sex, don't do it, that I may have a kid. Right. And as kids, I guess people just think that it's like movie talk or whatever. Like, oh, you know, like, I'm not going to have kids. That's like lifetime stuff, you know, 16 and pregnant. It can happen to anybody. Like, yeah, so don't do it. Just be smart about it. And yeah, plan to have a kid, you know, be financially stable, be mentally stable, know who you are first, because you become 25 and you may realize, I don't even want kids. Like me, I love kids. I'm 23, about to be 24 in like 6 months, but I don't want kids right now. Like, I want kids 29, and the older I get, the more I'm like pushing it back just a little bit, because I did say 27, but that's not too far away. So like 29, 30, you know.
You said that's not too far away.
It's not too far. It's like, because these weeks are going by quicker. These months, this year, it's already the middle, almost. Dang.
Because the first week of the quarantine just dragged. Man. I kept looking at the clock and time was barely moving. Like I put in that video, like, that's how it was, like dead ass. Bro. Part of my French. But
he's not French. No, I'm just kidding.
Oui.
Okay.
But bonjour. That's good, Abby.
Okay.
The same can be said about, you know, marriage, because I got a friend, like, he doesn't want to get married, you know, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But he wants to have kids. How does that make sense?
That makes sense because I feel like a lot of people. I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but it's becoming a norm. A lot of people just don't feel like marriage is necessary. They're just like, oh, it's a piece of paper.
And it's like, what does the ring really symbolize? We could dive into.
We can go into history
because me personally, I would love to, be married and have kids.
But what if a woman comes to you and say, you guys been dating a couple years and you guys know that you want to spend the rest of your life together, and she says that she's like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I just don't believe in marriage, because marriage, at the end of the day, it's not like marriage is like these handcuffs that, you know, these rings that, you know, keep you binded. You can cheat in marriage, you can break up and get a divorce in marriage. You know, it was all created as like a social and financial like contract.
To be honest, that is what it is. I'm sorry for married couples, but it's kind of like that. But continue to be married, because marriage is a beautiful thing.
Definitely. Or just spending like your life with somebody, because I don't know personally, but there's couples who've been together for like 50 years. They're just not married.
Yep, but that's true.
You know, but I still consider them husband and wife. I think after 5 years, you husband and wife, period.
Or like, they like...
It's a little hot up here.
Or they're not married, but they've been engaged for like 5+ years.
Yeah, you married, bro.
You know? So I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, it is. Whew.
Was it because the car wasn't on?
Yeah, that's probably why it wasn't on.
The car was on, but the engine wasn't running. I'm like, nigga, I'm sweating a little bit. I don't know if they...
My neck and my back.
That'd probably be smart. So, a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago, I posted on my Snapchat that it's harder for women to date than it is for men. So, no, you're fine. Where's my mask? No, I'm just kidding. But more of the story is, I was just trying to, you know, see what kind of feedback I would get back. Obviously, girls, there were a few women who were like, yes, it is harder for us to date. And their explanation was just that they feel like guys their age, you know, boys, not men, could only commit to them in a certain way, you know, like physically. But they couldn't commit to them emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or financially, or whatever. And I was like, that's a common issue that women our age, or women in general, may face with men or boys, you know. And that, my advice to that is, that'll take like an hour. So we're gonna save that for later. But yeah, so I was just saying that I feel like it is harder, and you can make a case for both. But I said that it was harder because women have more, for lack of better words, garbage to kind of rummage through to find like the diamond in the rough. Because say that this guy posts a pic and he gets like 4 DMs. They're like, oh, you know, I like your eyes, I like blah, 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 you know, like you seem cool, you seem smart or whatever. Out of those 4 girls that messages him, like maybe 2 or 3 actually want to, you know, something serious, you know, like a relationship, or, you know, their intentions match up with his. Whereas a woman, she posts a good pic or whatever on social and gets hit up in the DM, say like 10 or 15 times. Let's say like 12 times, meet in the middle, 12 times. But out of those 12, how many of those guys seriously want something more than just, you know, physical? Like, how many of those guys want something that's going to last a little bit longer than like a month, 2 months, 3 months, you know, a year? Not many, maybe like 2 or 3 that are serious. The others are just like honestly just there for one thing. Or, you know, it may not just be sex. It may just be they're bored, so they just want to go out to dates. They may just want someone to talk to, but their intentions don't line up with yours. So his, you know, scenario is better. Like, he gets hit up by 4, 3 of them want something that he wants, you know, a relationship or whatever. Right. Whereas 12, you know, if you get a ratios, 12 and only like 2 or 3 want you, you know, that's, you know, 1 to 4 ratio. So
you go,
yeah, I would take that over the woman. So it's kind of harder for them just because they have more garbage to rummage through. But that's just my take. And obviously you can make a case for both. But what do you think about that?
honestly, I feel like it's dang near it's dang near an equal case for both.
Yes, you can make a case for both.
I'll give the edge to women, but I gotta give the benefit of the doubt to us too. And it all comes down to society and social norms. And I'm gonna start by defending my crew, the men crew. I'm gonna defend us, women. Y'all gotta stop saying, and it bounces back off the rummaging through the trash.
Mm-hmm.
The all men are trash BS statement that I always hear. Yes. Yes, it can be tough when somebody does you wrong, but because of that, it makes it harder for the guys who are trying to give you the world.
Good guys.
Typically good guys. It makes it harder for us to get to your heart because you put up this guard. Again, that's through society, but y'all gotta stop with that. And then let me hop on the women. Women have it tough because of how they're raised. The differences of how they're raised also affect what's going on. The boys will be boys thing, that's a huge issue. That shouldn't be a thing. Just because you do the boys will be boys, no, that's not cool at all. I'm trying to think of a particular example. The Gillette commercial. The Gillette commercial.
Oh, the Gillette commercial.
When they were fighting and when he was catcalling and and they were doing that and all the grandpas were lined up in line. It was like, oh, boys will be boys. No, it's not cool. Because when they do that, it's like promoting the fact that they're more likely to get away with certain things that girls aren't able to. And like girls, obvious, and then growing up, boys typically have more freedom to do whatever than girls. So that affects how relationships go and like their values when it comes to that because of how they were raised. So typically, in my opinion, I mean, obviously there are outliers as there are in everything. That's why women are more guarded because they're like held back by these strict norms, where it be at like society as a whole, which they do with the standards of beauty. Standards of beauty really make it hard for women to like kind of be themselves because they feel like they have to live up to that pinnacle of a Zendaya or a Beyonce or whatever, and that makes it tough for. They feel like they have to be like them just to get a guy,
which yields insecurity, which yields mental and emotional trauma. Yeah, it's but like I said, so I like to say that nothing is completely black or white. Everything's gray. So like women have that side of it, men have that side of it too, and we're not going to get into that, but definitely women.
But women have it a lot more than men.
Yeah.
But men, we have it. We have our like, damn, but it's not as much so on the aesthetic side of it. It's more like
yeah.
It's more the money, the materialistic side.
That and the emotional part of it, but I like the aesthetic. Because man, we're man.
Like I mean, like for instance, like you 9 times
you got ugly niggas. I'm sorry, but you got ugly niggas dating bad chicks, which means that's what aesthetically. Men, it doesn't matter what we look like. If we got one thing or we got something going for us, women would not overlook us. Whereas men, if a woman has something going for them, but they're not looking cute, we'll give her a chance. And I'm speaking in general terms, these are not my opinions, but in general, we'll give her a chance. But it's like, we want something good to look at too. And that's not a bad thing, but at the same time, that's the reality of it. Because you got Jay-Z and then you got Beyonce. I'm sorry, I just have to throw that out there. You got bad chicks, and like, I'm like ugly niggas. Like, I'm not gay, but I can say a nigga. Like, he's not on her level physically, aesthetically. But I didn't mean to barge in. I just have to say that because that's true. That's like,
I'll
that's
let
so
it slide
true.
because from what I've observed, I'd say that's a pretty fair statement.
But Jay-Z, he's probably like a really cool dude. He got money. He's a grinder. Like, not taking none of that away. But physically, if you look at them two, you're gonna be like,
it's like,
yeah, he has to be rich, or like, or he, you know, he has something going for him just because she's so bad, bro.